All right, Do Hard Things Nation. We are live again for your weekly wake up. I'm Jay Tiegs. Tom, how you doing, brother?
Doing amazing. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, it's man, here in Missouri, it is a beautiful morning. Lacey and I went out for a run. It's a beautiful Monday, and I feel rested and rejuvenated and excited about this week. How are you feeling today?
Feeling amazing, man.
Good.
Always feel amazing.
Good. Well, getting some coffee in me and getting the day started.
Hey, cheers. Yes.
Cheers.
I wonder how many people actually start the morning drinking coffee.
Dude, if I don't have coffee, man, I just don't feel quite right. It's just become such a habit. Now, I definitely try to limit myself so I don't overdo it. But, man, there's just something that just mentally, it's just kind of ingrained in me. It's just part of my morning routine.
Yeah.
And it feels good. I love it.
How many coffees a day do you drink, Jay?
Maybe 1, 2. No more
so
than 2.
One just giant, massive cup or what?
This is a pretty good sized cup. I might refill this one more time.
Okay. Yeah. I usually have 3 a day. 3 a day only because I love the coffee here. Coffee's really nice. Right?
Do they make coffee in Costa Rica?
Oh, dude, one of the best in the world. We're close to Colombia. We've got our own mountains to manufacture this
Colombia.
stuff.
Yeah, where's Juan Valdez from?
I have no idea.
He's down in your hood somewhere.
Nice coffee. Yeah, Costa Rica, without a doubt, has some amazing. There's some gringos. So if you don't know the term gringo, most people do. It's Americans, Canadians, anyone who doesn't live in Costa Rica. They actually, I need to get my best coffee. I need to get my coffee from the US. I need to get it from the Amazon. I'm like, dude, we're from Amazon.com. Dude, we're in Costa Rica. There's an unbelievable coffee here, but people are afraid to try new things. They always stick with their staples. The Nescafe that I drink from America is the thing that I need to drink here. It's like, dude, venture out. If you can't venture out with even a coffee, what else are you going to venture out with? You're not going to venture out with in life.
You're down there with the best coffee in the world, and people are still bringing in Amazon stuff.
They're bringing in the Nescafe or whatever other brand, Starbucks shit, and whatever it is, right? Because it's familiarity. People don't want to step out of their comfort zone, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and magic that's people are so scared to step out of their comfort zone because it's you said it, familiarity, and it's like people know that they I think people generally want to try new things, but they're afraid, right? They're afraid of maybe it won't turn out so good. Maybe the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's that fear-based thing.
Oh yeah, you can go to another country on a vacation and see a really fancy, unique restaurant and see a McDonald's down the street, and people will go to the McDonald's and not try this wonderful opportunity because of the familiarity of regular French fries and a Big Mac, which is kind of pathetic. I've seen it.
I've been trying as I travel more. I'll try new restaurants, but I found myself finding the same types of food. Like I love burgers. I love chicken Alfredo, but chicken Alfredo is just one of those things that it doesn't really change that much. Like it's kind of like pizza. Maybe there's some like unique pizzas out there. It's just one of those foods that no matter where you go, it's going to be very similar. You know what you're gonna get. You're familiar with it. I've been trying to do more and explore on different parts of the menu to try new foods, and it's been really good for me. I didn't realize how stuck I was in my ways and my habits of my ordering.
Right.
And in doing so, I'm experiencing more variety. And I think humans need more novelty. We need more variety. We need to try new things.
Yeah, but understand something too. You take a look at a person with, let's say, $50 million in their bank account. They'll go to a town and say, fuck it, I'm going to try this, because they know that if they don't like it, it's going into the trash. They can buy something else. But somebody with their hard-earned dollars, they're kind of like, shit, I want a good meal here. I don't want to spend $15, $20 on this and not like it. So I'm going to make sure I get something that I enjoy. And I think that's part of the mentality too. No?
Yeah, I think so. My daughter, it's interesting. I've got one daughter who always eats from the same, like I say, kids meal, but it's chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese. She's a creature of habit. And I've got another daughter who'll try the craziest thing. She'll be like, the most expensive thing on the menu. She's like, I want the prime rib. I'm like, what? We'll go down to our restaurant, our local restaurant. They got frog legs on. They're known for the burgers. She'll get the frog legs. I'm like, frog legs? Like, well,
yeah, I know. I'll have this on the menu here, but that's $60. The kids' menu is $15.
Yeah, the first time she did that, I'm like, you know what? It was funny, and I'm like, just go with it, you know. I mean, and so she'll do that, and I'm like, you know what? It's just it just become. We always laugh because I have no idea what she's going to order or how she's going to
Yeah,
order it, and it's just funny because she's always trying new things, and I think
that's
it's
right. Good
awesome.
for her. Good
Yeah.
for her.
Well,
Hey
this week
Jay,
I
there.
wanted I
Go
wanted
ahead.
my
Go ahead.
discipline was on my mind this week. I'm wearing this shirt this morning. I woke up discipline. And that was kind of on my mind. I wanted to know what your thoughts were about the topic of discipline.
Okay, Jocko Willink. Discipline is freedom. Discipline equals freedom. Okay, Jay. Guess what I'm going to do today?
You're going to work out.
Yeah, of course I'm going to work out because discipline equals freedom, right?
Yeah.
I get the discipline to train and do all the stuff that I do, and then all of a sudden I can go and parachute, or I can ride a motorcycle, or I can do something physical that most people can't do because I'm fit. The answer I've got is I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want today. I don't answer to anybody on any given day, and the reason why is I had the discipline to pay the price, working 70 hours a week for the last 25 years. I worked the equivalent of 45 years of work. That's discipline, day in, day out. And guess what? I don't need to work anymore. Discipline equals freedom. And when people understand that, their life changes completely. But you got to get into routine and do the hard things on a regular basis. That's discipline.
Yeah, and hard stands for the four lines of effort in your life: your health and wellness, your affluence and your wealth, your relationships, your development. Discipline builds a healthy body and a sharp mind. Disciplines builds wealth. Discipline builds a happy relationship. Discipline builds an incredible career.
Yep.
And discipline is making yourself do those things that you know that you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. Because I think motivation is way overrated.
Completely. Absolutely. Jay, I've got a guy right now that I'm going to be making a call with. And the hardest thing I have to do today is I need to convince him of his potential because he's in a rut right now. I have to convince him. That's all I have to do. And it's the hardest thing that, dude, you can actually go out and you can kill it in the world. Okay, so what evidence do I have? He's a real estate guy. This guy made something like $344,000 one year. Okay, over $250,000. He's posted 2 years where he made $250,000 plus, and a couple of other years where he made $150,000 plus. So he's got 4 really good years. He's in a rut. He's like, what should I do? What should I do? Okay, it's like, dude, get the discipline to do the basics that you always did. That's all you've got to do. Go back to the basics versus focusing on the negatives, focusing on woe is me, things are not so good. The moment you focus on your problems, you're going to have more problems, right? Just do the stuff, the daily disciplines that got you to where you were. That's the hardest thing I have to do, is convincing somebody to get into routine and make the calls and do all the stuff that a real estate stud does. That's it. Anyone can do that.
Yeah. My command philosophy when I was a commander, and I actually took this from another commander, was dominate the basics. If you dominate the basics in life, your life will be infinitely better. But people spend too much time trying to major in the minors. They're so focused on things that don't truly matter, and they just, I don't know if it's, they just take it for granted. Like, it's little things like knowing that you need to work out, knowing that you need to save money, knowing that you need to invest in your relationship, all those things. And we don't put, a lot of people don't put that level of effort that's required for them to really level up. And it's going back to the basics. Dominate.
Give me 5 basics, but spread it across the board. Don't just talk about your fitness, right? Just talk about like 5 different things in different areas of your life that you have to do today. Basics.
Yeah. So basics. I mean, we can dissect some of the basics that I do. is making sure that I'm hydrated. So, something as simple as making sure that I'm drinking enough water. It nests with my health and wellness, because I know that discipline of drinking water is going to, in America, we're chronically dehydrated. It sounds so silly, but there's a lot of people who are like, man, I can't drink that bottle of water. You mentioned a half gallon of water. They just think like, oh my God, that's an insurmountable task. When generally you need about twice your body weight in ounces of water, which is more than a half gallon.
How do you do it, Jay?
How do I do it? Well,
Yeah.
I get up in the morning and I chug a pint first thing in the morning.
Yep.
And then I have my gallon jug. I fill it up in the morning and I measure it throughout the day. And the cool thing about the jug that I got, it's got like little time hacks throughout the day.
Oh,
Got this thing off
beautiful.
Amazon for like $10.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That little thing is just a game changer because it helped me. Now you can do a regular gallon jug,
Yeah.
but when I see it sitting on the counter and I look at my watch and it's 3 o'clock and it shows that I'm a little bit behind. Okay, I'll go there and just chug some water down, and
so easy. Yeah, so easy. My way is this, Jay. I have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a workout.
Mm-hmm.
All I do is I've got a big, super tall glass. It's the equivalent of, let's say, 2.5 cups worth of water. I have to have that in the morning before I eat. I have to have that before I eat lunch. I have to have that before I have dinner, and I have to finish my giant 2.5 cup glass during the workout. That's it. That's the game plan. It's structure. It's a discipline that allows me to drink the water. End of story. Because if I were left to a different device of just kind of trying to remember to drink the water, it wouldn't happen. What's another one, Jay? Give me another discipline or habit on a regular basis every day that you have to do to be successful in an area other than, let's say, nutrition and hydration.
Discipline, relationships.
Okay.
Making sure that I take the time to reach out to someone. Part of my daily checklist is I'm going to reach out and connect with someone today, someone with intention, whether it's one of my kids or maybe it's my girlfriend or an old friend. I try to at least spend a few minutes each day to deliberately connect with someone. Just say hello. Maybe it's just, hey, I'm thinking about you, something that effect, that daily discipline of investing in my relationships.
All right. So you do it with your kids and your wife, and then some kind of business associate.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, same. I do the exact same thing. That has to happen in the day. There has to be some kind of meaningful conversation. But Jay, I'm an introvert. I don't want to introduce myself to a new person. What do you say to that person?
You need to do it anyway because you know that it's good for you. Like introverts, I mean, that's how we recharge, right? But we can, as introverts, you can self-isolate yourself. And if you're not careful, you can find yourself in a position to where you haven't reached out to people. And that leads to being lonely and a little bit disconnected. And it happens a little quicker than you can realize.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, you know what's interesting too? A lot of people, when they want to contact somebody new, and the reason why they're contacting somebody new is because there's a vested interest in contacting them. If I contact this person, I'm going to be able to sell them this product. Okay, so this person needs insurance, so I'm going to reach out, and they think they need to swing for the fence and get a home run, right? And that gets people anxious when in fact, all you got to do is get to first base and say hello. You know, it's that easy. When you and I got onto a call together, we ended up becoming friends. Did you reach out to me? Did I reach out to you? What was the deal?
I don't remember. I ended up in one of your groups and we connected. I invited you onto the Facebook page. I think I may have reached out to you like, hey man, I'm really interested in what you're doing. Let's connect and talk about, get on the podcast.
Yeah, something like that. And I actually got the phone and I made a video and said, hey Jay, I love what you're doing. Keep it up. And just shot a quick video to you. And then we ended up in a call afterwards. Yeah. Right. Jay, I had zero intention other than this guy seems like a cool guy. I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to get to first base and just chat it up. And guess what? There was no intention to hit a home run. It was just, he seems like a cool guy. Why not reach out? And when people do that, you just plant a seed and you reach out to somebody and there's nothing else other than that. That person goes, shit, man, that seems like a cool guy. Why did he reach out to me? Just to say hello. It makes it so much easier.
People have a lot of intention of, hey, I'm going to go reach out to someone, but you don't. You ever had that where you're like, oh, I meant to get to you and I meant to say hello or just reach out, but I just haven't. Yeah. Having that intention and not doing it is the same as not doing it. Right?
No, exactly.
So you can have every intention in the world,
yeah,
but just take a few minutes and do it. And if you make that part of your daily routine, it just makes it just enables you to connect with people better. And we need even introverts need human connection. We need deep human connection.
Oh yeah. Well, the one guy says to me, he says, well, how do you do it? I said, well, watch this. We're in a Zoom call together. So I pick up my phone and I got into Facebook. I texted the guy. I said, I love the post that you just posted. Awesome job, man. The guy's name is Steve Krebs. Steve Krebs is one of my friends on Facebook. I don't know Steve. I don't really care to know Steve. He had just ended up as one of my friends. Guess what he ends up doing? He posts, he sends me a message right afterwards on the same call with this guy. And he goes, really appreciate that, man. And now all of a sudden, that's all it is. I could continue chatting. Hey, what are you up to these days? It's that easy.
Yeah.
And the guy on the Zoom call on the other end goes, Tom, that's all it takes? I go, dude, that's all it takes. Because I'm not asking for anything. You're just planting seeds. You never know what's going to happen with some of these contacts.
And you never know what people are going through, because as I've had conversations with people, especially on a deeper level, and people know that I'm a coach. Now they're kind of like, they're looking at me as a mentor. There's people that are suffering that you wouldn't, like, on their Facebook page, you would think everything is going great, but behind the curtain, like, they're really suffering. And to be able to reach out to someone, or you even reaching out and saying something nice to someone else, complimenting them, that could be a game changer for them for that day. That could be the one thing that shining a little bit of piece of light in their darkness that could give them a little boost. It's like standing in line at the Walmart, right? And you could stand in line, and there's sometimes where you're in a long line and that person's next to you. Chatting it up with them a little bit and just asking them how their day is going, what they're excited about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Make a break. You can make their day.
Totally. We were in the hardware store the other day, my wife and I. So we're in line. We see this lady come in. She's got one item. So she says, yeah, go ahead. You go ahead of us, right? She goes, oh, thank you so much, right? Start up a conversation. And then she brings her kid with a little buggy. He's got like 16 items in it. Like, damn. Shit, why did we let this lady in first? I didn't realize she had more than one item. It's 16. This is going to take half an hour. Damn it. But the point is, we had this conversation with the person in line. It's lovely. Why not reach it? Because you never know what they're going through. And to brighten up somebody's day is huge. But Jay, why would I do that? Life is all about me. Why would I reach out to other people?
Yeah, it was interesting. Lacey and I went camping this weekend, and we're out on the outskirts of town. And for breakfast the next morning, we go to this little town called Hartsburg. This is like a little river town, population of maybe just a couple hundred people. They have an annual pumpkin fest around fall where thousands of people come there. But otherwise, it's a pretty sleepy little town. And we sat down. This guy came in. He had kind of a disciplined looking haircut and stuff. And he was a former military guy and a firefighter. And he looked at our rig and said, hey, you guys out for an adventure? He came up to us and just asked us how we're doing. We have an adventure this weekend. And we instantly started talking about, he likes to camp. We like to camp. He gave us some advice to go up to the bluffs. And he was talking about, like, he can tell. We were talking about Cooper's Landing, which is the place that we were at the night before. He's like, there's people, like, you can tell the people that are not from these parts because we wave at each other all the time. But people we drive by and they don't wave, and just like, well, what the hell, and they can tell that they're probably from the town of Columbia, which is the bigger city area around here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of disheartening. Like, why can't we wave to each other? What is this all about? Like, why are we putting up all these walls?
I know, it's crazy. There's a motorcycle rider's code. When you drive by another guy on a motorcycle, you give him the kind of like, hey, how's it going?
Yep.
You always do it. Now, you get the same guy riding by. You got like me riding by on my motorcycle, and I see a Vespa. He gets no wave. I don't know why. He's not riding a motorcycle, right? We have something in common. People driving Jeeps do the exact
Jeeps
same.
Do the same thing. Yep.
Right. I'm sure there's somebody else that does the same kind of shit, right? You're part of a community.
Yeah.
But doesn't that mean that if you're going to do that while on a bike, that you should at least do that in your own damn community? Say hi and reach out to people in your own damn community. Whereas, I don't know, back when I lived in Canada, I'd walk by somebody in my community. I'd look them straight in the eyes and say good morning. And they'd walk right by me. I'm like, dude, what's the matter with you?
Even in Canada, I thought Canadians are supposed to be some of the nicest people on earth.
Canadians have become less and less friendly. Unbelievable.
Really?
Yes, even in the small towns. Small towns, you got everyone saying hello to each other, but people are going through hard times. Yeah. And those are the people who need the hello the most.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just feel that people are just in a tough place right now, and friendliness and kindness seems to be eroding a little bit more than I would like. And the only way that you're going to put it there is by by being the example and the role model and spreading, and you can do something as simple as just saying hello. And I got to catch myself sometimes. Sometimes I'll be caught up in my thoughts and my things that I'm thinking about, but I try to make an effort to do that. Lacey does a really good job of that. Lacey's always got a bubbly smile. She's got a bubbly personality, and that's infectious, right? Being around other people that are like that makes me open up. And so I think that's really important, is to be around people that are like that.
All right, so we talked about water. I mean, you drink your water, you hydrate yourself, you can change your situation from a health standpoint. We talked about reaching out to somebody every single day and saying, like, truly saying great things to your loved ones and really connecting. So we talked about that. What's a third habit, something that you can put into your discipline routine that can really make a difference for our audience? What's a third habit that you have?
Personal development, self-development. And the big part of that is I'm reading something or I'm listening to something. I'm going to put new knowledge into my brain every single day. I was actually listening to something this morning and really been thinking about this a lot. Personal development before your production, before your productivity. And the reason being, and I find this with people, especially high performing people, they'll do a lot of personal development or they're focused on their health and wellness and reading, and then they start to slack. There's this thing, especially in the 75 hard community, where we're all in on our health and wellness and our development. And then when we get off program, we just like completely throw it aside.
Yeah.
Well, this is a disciplined habit, is doing something consistently, regularly, like with consistency.
Yes.
And if you listen to Tony Robbins or Jim Rohn or any of the greats, they'll tell you your personal growth and development is directly correlated with your ability to succeed. The more knowledge that you have, the more discipline that you have, this is how you'll become more successful. So even if I try to read 10 pages a day. Sometimes it might just be as quickly as just reading till I get that nugget, that nugget of information. Sometimes that takes more than 10 pages. Sometimes that might only take a page. If you read a book like As a Man Thinketh, there's a nugget like in every paragraph. That's a very short book, but it will take you a very long time to read it, just in the way that it's written, and that every single line is like deliberate, like gold, and like you ponder on it, and so that habit of, I'm going to sharpen my saw somehow today. I'm going to improve my body, my health in some way, or maintain or improve my knowledge base. What about you?
I like it. I'm going to say something super offensive, because whoever's listening to this is going to remember what I said. And they're going to say, that asshole said something super offensive, and they're going to remember it every time they do this action. So if you read the newspaper first thing in the morning, you're a fucking moron. So if you're reading the newspaper, you do that on a regular basis, I told you, you're a fucking moron. Obviously, you're not a fucking moron, but next time you read the paper, you're going to think twice. Because I'll tell you right now, I have not listened to the news for weeks first thing in the morning. I don't know what's going on in the world. I don't know what's going on in the world at all right now. It's irrelevant to me, because my current situation here, I got to take care of what's going on in my community, what's going on in my house. I don't pay attention to that news. Instead, what I do is, like you said, I'll listen to something in the morning that's going to get me going. Now, think of a coach doing a pep talk before a game. Why would he do a pep talk before a game? Why would he try to motivate his team? Because he wants them to perform. That's a friggin' game. Why wouldn't I do that with my daily life? My daily life, my day today is more than a sports game. Why would I not motivate myself with something inspiring, something that's going to kick ass? So I'll listen to somebody like, let's say, Jocko Willink, and he'll say something like, oh, wow, shit, man, let's start the day. Yeah, that was what I needed. I didn't need to hear about what's going on in the Ukraine.
Why do you think people do that? Why do you think people do that and they immediately turn on the news? Why do you think that is?
Maybe they feel like they're missing out on something. I think the news, the mainstream media, obviously wants to grab attention. They do. They want to make those ads. They want to sell ads, and they want to get to their audience. And in doing so, the more attention grabbing it is, the bigger the audience. Negative sells. Yeah. So why do people grab? Well, what's going on in the world? I got to know. I don't know. Maybe their lives are boring. I have no idea. Maybe they feel like they're missing out on something. Maybe they're brainwashed. I don't know. What do you think?
It's crazy. It just takes more effort to go out of your way to find positivity than it does anything else, because you can turn on the TV in the morning and there's an infinite number of news channels just spouting the same garbage. And
Yep.
I say garbage as in I know it's an intent, just the way, like they could do more good news stories if they want to, but it's probably what,
Yep.
maybe 5% good news story, 95% designed to get you emotionally riled up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember
And so
two
you
big
got to go
topics.
out of your way. Like I wake up and I'll turn on YouTube when I'm working out and I'll listen to Jim Rohn. I'll listen to Tony
Yeah.
Robbins.
Yeah.
I'll listen to Jocko. I will, or I'll
Mhm.
watch a motivational, if I'm running on the treadmill and I'll watch something where these endurance runners are like beasting it up. I'm not
Yep.
watching the news while I'm doing that.
No
It's
way.
not going
No
to make
way.
me
Not at
run any
all.
faster or lift any more
But the
heavier.
crazy thing is, you can walk into a lot of establishments, and what they do have is whether it's a hotel or a coffee shop, they will have the mainstream news running on a TV mounted to the wall, and that's all you see, right? Like, man, they used to
Oh,
do that for Fox News
I've
in the
seen it. I've been at
hotels.
the hospital, or not the hospital, the hotels. We got like a line of like TVs,
Yeah,
Fox News, CNN,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's the last thing I want to watch.
It's the last thing you want to watch. And people do. I remember seeing this thing on Ebola. Ebola was talked about because there's nothing else going on in the world. And they talked about Ebola every day. I'm like, oh my God, man, Ebola's around. I don't want to get Ebola. And then all of a sudden it stopped because the next big story came along. And I don't know what it was. It might have been the forest fires in Brazil. And they went on and on about that. And then all of a sudden it just stopped. No one talked about the forest fires in Brazil because the next story came about. I'm like, 3 days later, what happened to the forest fires? They're not talking about it anymore. That's when you realize you've been duped. You've been hooked.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, one of the disciplines, absolutely, Jay, something positive in the morning. Give me one more.
One more thing that I do each day.
A habit, a discipline that really, so not fitness, not motivation, not relationship. Can you come up with one more? I don't know what else there is.
I'm
One more.
disciplined in my business because this is as I'm transitioning from the military. Obviously, I live in the military. There's a lot of probably little disciplines that I do on a regular basis that are just so ingrained in me. But now, as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I focus and I work on my business each and every day. I'm
Good.
reaching
Good.
out to someone. I am posting something positive. I'm disciplined about my social media usage. I try not to if it has to be funny, it has to be inspirational. I will not post. Rarely will I post something news related. And if you look at my social
Right.
media from 10 years ago, I'm embarrassed. But
Really?
I'm disciplined about not doing that. And I'll see stuff and I'm like, man, I want to chime in on that, but I'm not going to because I'm disciplined about not getting engaged in conversations like that.
Yep. Yep.
Another
Agreed.
thing, one more thing, my planning systems, managing my time and
Yeah.
mapping that out each and every day. If you have reverence for life, you need to be disciplined about your time management. And so many
Big time.
people are shooting from the hip on their time management,
Yep.
and what they're squandering their life and they don't even realize it.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, one of the habits, just going along with the same theme for me, is I'm going to focus on the big rocks. I've got a task list of 20 things to do. I'm not going to focus on the 19 that are menial stuff and say, oh, look, I got 19 out of 20 done and I didn't do the hard thing. I'm going after the hard, meaningful, high yield thing right away.
Yeah.
Because nothing
Prolific,
else happens when I do
quality
that. It's
output.
a win.
Yeah. Done before one. Get the big rocks done early.
Yep.
And then you have the rest of the day to kind of do it's maker's morning, manager's afternoon. Maker's
Yeah,
morning,
beautiful.
manager's
Love it.
afternoon.
Huge.
Create in the morning when you are awake. And this is the early morning. You just had a good night's sleep or the most sleep you're going to get today. So even if you're tired, this is it. Like as you like a cell phone, your percentages are going down throughout the day. The
Yep.
morning is when you want to do a bulk of your creative work. You don't want to wait till the end of the day because that's when you got the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, love it.
That's when that little red indicator comes on. Like, okay, it's time to recharge. That's when you're going to start, doing your major work. No, that doesn't work out very well.
Yeah, exactly. Jay, I love the shirt. I got to get one of those shirts. I know you're excited about this next portion of the weekly wake up call and the shirt. Go ahead and share what you want to share.
Yeah, we're doing something. We're going to start this every week. We're going to nominate someone that's kicking ass in some aspect of their life. Hard, health and wellness, affluence and wealth, relationships and development. And I've got someone in mind. We're going to give someone this shirt, and we're going to give away a shirt every week. And so I'm super excited about this. And there's one person that has come to mind this morning, and that's Zach Morrill. Zach just finished 75 hard. He's got a before and after photo in the Do Hard Things community under one of the I might be able to pull it up here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. You know what? I'm going to have to figure this feature out. I'm not going to be able to pull it up, but I will work on that, being able to do that in the future. I got to figure out the software. But anyway, he just finished 75 hard. And when you see people do 75 hard, they always have their before and after photo. Yeah. And he obviously has had a physical transformation. But when you see the physical transformation, there's more of a mental transformation that's happened.
Zach Morrill, congratulations, dude. You are a beast. 75 hard is capital HARD hard. And you did it. Most people don't do it. So congrats to you. And I hope that's a springboard to greater things. So this guy gets a shirt.
He gets a shirt. He's also working on his degree in organizational leadership. He just finished up this semester. He's been beasting through. So he's not only developing himself physically, but he's sharpening his saw mentally. And he's demonstrating doing hard things. So we're going to give him a disciplined shirt.
Oh, so that's awesome, man.
Super excited about that.
So my only advice for this guy now is pay it forward. Who can you inspire as a result of it? Because it's not about you. It's about everyone else around you as well. Who can you inspire by what you've done?
Absolutely.
Who can you help out? That's huge. So this guy gets a shirt. So this is something we're going to do on a regular basis. We want people to reach out to us and give us some nominees. Who do you see in your community around you who is making shit happen in all areas, whether it's their fitness and health, their successful business, they're doing something special in the community. They've served in a role where, like a firefighter or a police officer, where they've really made a difference on any given week or month. We want to hear from you. We got to recognize people more versus what they do on fucking CNN and all that stupid shit. We want to hear great things from people.
Yeah, doing hard things. This is a lifestyle brand. This is a representation of, we don't live life in mediocrity. We're striving to be better. We're living life on offense. And we want to hear, if you know someone that is living up to that, grit, fortitude, they're focused, they're leveling up, we want to hear, and we want to hear those nominations. So shoot me a message. You can email me at j@jtiegs.com, or you can DM me, and we'd love to take your nominations, and we're going to give out another shirt next week.
Does he know he's getting the shirt yet?
He doesn't even know it yet. So after this, I want to tag him in it, and I'm going to send him a message.
And he doesn't have to pay for it either. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to send it to him.
Pay for it. It's a gift.
Absolutely. But you can find this shirt at the DoHardThingsApparel.com store. So go check it out if you want to grab yours. And I tell you what, I wear these things like, you can't be slacking off if you're wearing a shirt that says Do Hard Things.
You're a walking billboard for your actions.
We got Gold Crusher.
Just imagine this. You've got your employee wearing that shirt, right? Who am I going to call for to get the task done? It's like, dude, you in the disciplined shirt, you're doing this. I need you. I'm counting on you. The fact that you're wearing that shirt tells me something about your attitude. Go out.
Tells me something, right? You're signifying like, hey, and you look, we're human dynamics. I don't always find myself in the most disciplined way, but it's a reminder. It's like, okay, I need to pivot quicker. I pivot a lot faster than I used to. And dude, it's a lifestyle.
Okay, so I'm going to walk the beach later on here. Okay, I'm going to walk the beach. It's fucking hot here. It's really hot here. Okay, so in American, it's like well over 100 degrees Celsius. Probably, I don't know, 105. I don't know what. Is that hot?
That's hot.
Okay, because here it's like 37 degrees Celsius. They go by Celsius.
That sounds cold to me, but Celsius, those levels.
Yeah, I know. You're sweating. You're sweating. Okay, and I'll get a guy walking the beach with a shirt that says "Dad Bod" on it. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you proud of that? Come on.
Ridiculous. It kind of goes back to what you said last week about, hey, how do you define yourself? Are you retired? No, I'm an entrepreneur. And those labels have meaning, and you can embrace. Yeah, the dad bod thing is funny, right? It's funny, but do you really want? Is that really where you want to be? Is that really where you want to be? Is that really what you want? Like,
I think if you can laugh at yourself because you've got a dad bod, you take the pressure off, and people are kind of like, haha, yeah, I get it. I'm in the same boat, and no one wants to talk about getting into shape. If I mention, hey, you need to lose the gut, people are like, hey, Tom, you're fat shaming. No, I'm not. I'm talking about getting visceral fat off your organs, dude. I want you to live another 15 years. What are you talking about? It's nothing to do with appearance. You want to look that way? By all means. But I'd rather live a healthy lifestyle, live an extra 10, 15 years. Dude,
Absolutely.
wear the dad bod shirt. Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather
But
wear the
there's
discipline shirt,
something to be
dude.
said about that, right? So
Love the shirt. Love
and
it.
that's what the Do Hard Things Nation is. We're developing a community, living on offense, developing grit, fortitude, and focus so we can live our best life. And that's everyone has, doing hard things is relevant to everyone. Everyone has a challenge. I don't care what your socioeconomic background is. I don't care what your health challenges are.
Yep.
Are you trying and striving to be better than you were yesterday? And are you being consistent about it? And that's what we're doing here.
Yep. And there's a professor of mine that told me a long time ago. He said, you don't need to do extraordinary things. You just need to do the ordinary extraordinarily well. Right. So if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I don't really think I'm capable of hard things. Well, you are capable of doing the hard thing of forming some good habits, good little habits that can really make a difference. Those incremental changes will make a world of difference so you can do hard things later on. And I think the whole topic of habits and discipline, that was not my intent to talk about it today. I think it was a really wicked topic. And I think we gave our audience some real nuggets today.
Absolutely. So if you're listening to this, how can you get 1% better this week? What's one thing that you could do? Because it's, like you said, it's dominating the basics. Do you know that there's something in your life that you could tweak or change? And it may not change your life today, but with some level of consistency, it can make all the difference in the world. It's the little things.
Yeah, big time.
With that, I think that's a great way to wrap it up this week, Tom. So I hope you have a kick-ass week. We're gonna be going live again Wednesday night, 6:30 Central Standard Time. It's gonna be the Do Hard Things Nation weekly call. So that's going to be a new edition. So
wicked.
We'll also capture that on the podcast too, and have that. But we want to see you there. We want to see you live, 6:30 Central Time, Wednesday night. And
Jay, if they can't catch it live, where can they catch it?
It'll be on the podcast. So check out the podcast. We'll have the replay on the podcast.
Beautiful. Okay.
So you can check out YouTube. Like we're having it streamed on YouTube. So check out the. I'll have to double check. I think it's JT. You have to look up Tiegs. But we're going to switch everything over. So Lacey and I, we're going to create the Do Hard Things Nation page because everything has been like jtiegs.com. We're going to separate that out because it's not about me. It's about the community. So we're at the very early stages of this, but Do Hard Things Nation will be its own page. And we'll continue to highlight the community and have all the replays up there as well. But check out the podcast as well. Do Hard Things podcast.
Right on. Beautiful.
So in the meantime, live life on offense, do hard things, and we'll see you guys. On Wednesday.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.